Hello everyone, it's D&Z TV once again, and we are here with some up-to-date information of everything happening in the royal family. So if you've not subscribed to our channel, we urge you right now to click on the subscription button, comment, like and share our videos, and we will do one thing, which is to give you more information of everything happening as when it happens. So now let us go straight to the gist of the matter. Now as we all know, Naomi is actually being talked about returning back to the palace to begin to live in the palace and behave like everybody in the palace. But something has actually happened that has thrown the palace into some form of chaos. There's been so much chaos and pandemonium in the palace because of Naomi. So, Naomi, as a matter of fact, let us go straight to the matter, is suffering from some severe food poisoning in the palace. Yes, Naomi is suffering from food poisoning in the palace. This came not too long ago when she was served of what to eat, and on eating it, she now realized that she could no longer move her body. Her body was now beginning to be stiffening up. She now began to cough rapidly in such a way that people began to wonder, people began to shout, people began to be surprised as of what is really happening. That how can Naomi get to this level right now and she's now getting food poisoning? This has actually made the Oni to now request for a special cook for Naomi. Yes, Naomi, the Oni wants to get a special cook for Naomi. That's because the Oni does not want Naomi to suffer any form of attack anymore. That's because the one she suffered before is enough. You know that before now, a lot of people have been saying that Naomi is not going to come back, Naomi is not going to come back. But from the look of things right now, it is evident for us to know and to note that Naomi is actually trying by all possible means to see that she gets it right with the Oni of Ife. Oni too, on the other hand, is also trying to do everything in his powers to make sure that they are beginning to have a seamless relationship. You know that all these issues that they've been having over the time, over the years, it's something that they need to fix as fix in the quickest possible time. Fixing this problem is very, very important. It's important because no matter how they try, no matter how difficult they try to do it, the fact remains that the Oni has gotten to a point where he actually needs to take a stand so that things will not continue to fall apart the way they've always been falling apart. If you understand and see what has been happening in the palace, you realize that in as much as the Oni made some blunders, in as much as the Oni made some mistakes, in as much as the Oni got it wrong with every other person, the Oni, on the other hand, is still trying to see that he gets it right with the wife. So if it has gotten to this point now, where people now come to attack Naomi via food poisoning, then it's something that needs to be handled with utmost care. Yes, this needs to be handled with utmost care, because if they continue to allow things fall and disintegrate like this, then it is going to be a very Herculean task for things to work in place again. Now, if you begin to analyze what really happened is that there is someone who is actually supposed to make food for the queen, because since she's in the palace, she's actually not supposed to make her own food. So it was now pertinent to know that there was a particular cook who was asked to make food for Naomi. Now, then they made the food and brought it. Naomi actually does not eat roasted fish. What Naomi eats alone is fried fish, and what they brought is roasted fish. So when they brought this roasted fish now, after Naomi had a tarry night throughout the whole night. So after this tarry night now, she could not really get what she wanted to eat, because people were actually coming from different angles, saying things differently from how they are supposed to be. But all in all, it was still pertinent to note that even in this level of confusion right now, Naomi was still able to get something to eat, only for her to sleep in the night and realize that she's having a very serious running tumor. When the palace physicians now came and tried to inquire of what is actually happening, that was that point where they now deduced that the truth about the matter is that Naomi is actually suffering from food poisoning. This food poisoning actually lasted for 2 whole nights. 2 whole nights. She was under some serious watch of the medical personnel. They had to even bring medical personnel from the national hospital to actually look at her and tell her how she needs to do it. So the good thing about it now that she was able to survive this food poisoning. Yes, she survived it, but the owner is actually trying to take some precaution measures to make sure that this thing does not repeat itself again. Yeah, this thing should not repeat itself again, because if things continue to get haywire like this, I bet you at the end of the day nobody can actually stand what is actually going to happen. Now it is actually um worth knowing that Naomi actually can actually cook her own food, but the Oni has still reiterated and stated that he is going to get a special cook for Naomi, so that the Oni himself will now be the one to monitor and make sure nothing happens to Naomi. You know that if the Oni does not monitor Naomi like this and find out how things are being done, then there's actually a possibility that this might repeat itself again. And the Oni does not in any way wants this kind of thing to repeat itself again. You know, when something happens for the first time, it's a mistake. But the same thing happens the second time, it now becomes a deliberate thing. Yes, it is now become deliberate if something happens to ice, and the Oni does not want this kind of thing to happen 2 other times because it has happened before. So he's actually going to try all his possible best to make sure that this thing does not happen again. Now, if for any reason it is now known that it's actually someone that is actually causing Miss Naomi this predicament, then the law is actually going to take its full course. And you know, when the law takes its full course, it's going to be kind of very difficult for the Oni to have understanding of everything that is happening. But be that as it may, I am grateful. I'm much happy and grateful that the Oni is trying to get it right with Naomi. Not just Naomi, the Oni is trying to get it right with all of his wives. And I think the best thing we can all do is to make sure that we support the Oni to actually get it right with the wife. Because when he gets it right with the wife like this, things will actually work in a way and manner that it should be. Alright, my people, this is where we'll be stopping till we come your way again. I remain D and Z TV. Do well to subscribe to our channel, click on the notification button, comment, like, and share our content, and we'll keep on bringing more content to you. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye bye.